Hello all, thank you for joining. This is Mike from DynamicPoint. Today we're going to be briefly looking at our Office 365 SharePoint based vendor portal. So a quick overview of the architecture of the portal. Again, we are starting with a concept that is being provided by our friends at Microsoft, sometimes referred to as a SharePoint extranet portal, or sometimes you'll hear the term B2B sharing. And that is the concept of sharing my portal that is a SharePoint base for such things as, file collaboration, videos, content with my partners, my vendors in this case. And then we're going to add our app to this, the DynamicPoint app, which is going to allow us to hook up to information from various CRM and ERP systems. Today we'll be looking at data that is shared from Microsoft Business Central. And then in addition, I could add the various Office 365 tools. I could add Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, other of the tools that will work in conjunction with the portal to enhance it and ultimately provide, in addition to just collaboration, but workflow and business automation. So that's the introduction. The reason for doing a vendor portal, or I should say the objectives. They're really all over the place. The way the portal is structured is such that you could share essentially any of the information from Business Central, but just some examples we'll be looking at today: managing company information, terms and conditions, renewing contracts, confirming POs and editing orders, maybe managing RFPs, as well as confirming shipments. So let's go ahead and look at it. Here I have my vendor portal. Again, this is an Office 365 SharePoint page that I've invited my vendors to come in. I have some sample calls to action here. I have the ability to look at open purchase orders, maybe submit an invoice, contract status, look at open and historical invoices, as well as search purchase orders, managing my company information, looking at my profile, submitting some questions. Again, I have an integrated Power BI report showing some supplier quality analysis for the authenticated vendor, and then an event calendar and a document library. If I were to go into any of these, what is occurring is it's actually querying the information in a real-time fashion from Business Central and then filtering it so it's only showing the POs for the authenticated user. Any of these I could go into and edit them. In this case, I've allowed them to edit just a couple fields, the expected delivery date, as well as acknowledge the PO. We could go ahead and update that. You'll also see a print icon here. That's actually going to call the underlying report directly from Business Central and give me the ability to print that report and render it as a PDF. One other option on the POs here, if these were quotes, I have the ability for them to submit the documentation or any response to a quote, upload that directly from a file from their computer. Other options I have here is such as the ability to look at open invoices. I've separated them into two views, both those that are open and unpaid, as well as historical. Maybe I want to give the ability for my vendors to update their profile or manage their company information. Again, this is pulling the data directly from that contact record in DC. If I go ahead and open it here, again, I have some ability to say, we changed locations, or maybe I want to add some new contacts as well. So I have contact records coming here right from my profile, and I could view those as well and potentially edit or create them. So that's the gist. As I'm doing all these things, there's usually a desire for workflow. If I were to open up my email here, you could see I'm actually kicking off various emails coming through, such as contract renewal, license agreement, service order creation. So any of the things that I'm interacting with the portal, it will generate either email notifications or workflow as well. Let's go ahead and bring it back to the slide really quick. Again, the concept here is that we're introducing data sharing with our trading partners, with our vendors, as well as the ability for them to generate their reports. But as I get more sophisticated, I can introduce workflow and ultimately do business automation. With vendors, we see such things as RFP management, maybe contract renewal, as well as vendor onboarding being likely use cases. As far as what we've done for other customers, it's really all over the portal as a framework that provides us to meet many different portal requirements. We've had it as a order and distribution. Here's a vendor portal where you could update your banking information and look at invoices. Other examples here are, in the distribution realm, such as packing slips, or maybe collaborating with vendors on such things as inventory levels, as well as service case creation. So those were just some examples. Here's some further reading from Microsoft. Again, they are providing this as part of their B2B sharing functionality. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a